This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning. Inching toward the weekend. It is now Thursday, January 25th.
Also known as Friday Eve.
Yeah, John likes to
Friday
call it
Eve,
John
yes.
likes to call it Little Friday.
Little Friday, I like that too. I
Little
like that
Friday.
too.
Yep. Feels good, right? If you call it, frame it as a Little Friday.
Yeah.
Then the big Friday, you know, so all that more gentle and welcomed, and it's lovely.
I like that.
Hey, it's kind of cool out there this morning.
It is.
Yeah, it is. We have some temperatures that are in the upper 40s and low 50s across the region. Mark in Palmetto has 49 degrees. Richard in Northport comes in with 48. Cooper, Central Sarasota, 51. And our reporting stations are showing 51 in Northport, Punta Gorda, Sarasota. Bradenton comes in at 50, so does Parrish and Lakewood Ranch. Longboat Key at 54. Interior temperatures hovering around the 50 and upper 40s. No rain today, so it should be a nice, easy commute in terms of any kind of weather around. 54 degrees, we'll call it, by about 9 a.m. after the sun rises and things start to heat up. 12 noon, yeah, we can have a mix of sun and clouds today, kind of high, thin clouds, no big deal. Not rainmakers, but we'll go with about 62 by noon, 70 by about 3 o'clock this afternoon. And the chance of an outside recess today is 10 out of 10 again. Yee-hee, yippee. So you'll be out there getting some fresh air this afternoon, kids. We're looking at some nice weather coming up for at least 50% of the weekend. The other 50% a little dicey. Talk about that coming up in a few.
John Scalzi, our biggest kid.
I love John Scalzi.
Yes, we all do. There's the roads right now in Manatee County. A little build-up there eastbound on State Road 70, also on the other side of the interstate there around the Walmart Plaza, where I was just yesterday. There's Fruitville Road in the westbound lane, some slowdowns there around Cardinal Mooney as you head toward Beneva, and also 75 northbound, some issues there as you cross over Clark Road. South County all clear, 6:02 now on this Thursday morning.
And topping our news this half hour, President Trump said he is looking forward to talking with Special Counsel Robert Mueller.
ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest on that as President Trump touches down in Switzerland today.
President Trump left the White House bound for Switzerland a couple of hours before, appearing eager for a possible interview with Special Counsel Robert Mueller.
I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Yeah?
Do you have a date set?
Here's the story, just so you understand. There's been no collusion whatsoever.
You would do it under oath, correct?
Oh, I would do it under oath.
Trump's personal lawyer quickly released a statement saying Mr. Trump was speaking hurriedly and that arrangements are still being worked out between Mueller's team and the president's lawyers. Mueller's interviews with top Trump administration officials raising questions about whether his team is zeroing in on possible obstruction of justice.
There's no obstruction whatsoever, and I'm looking forward to it.
Another headline from that impromptu West Wing Q&A, Trump open to granting citizenship to the Dreamers after a 10 to 12-year period.
We want to do a great job with DACA. I think it's our issue. I think it's a better issue for the Republicans and for the Democrats.
Trump, congressional Republicans and Democrats back to negotiating a deal to address the fate of nearly 800,000 undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer pulled his offer to fully fund Trump's southern border wall in exchange for the Dreamers.
Schumer says the wall's off the table. Do you believe him?
No, I don't. I can tell you this, if you don't have a wall, you don't have DACA.
Trump set a March 5th deadline to end the DACA program, which protects the Dreamers from deportation. He now says he's open to extending the deadline if a deal is within sight. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
And a bill that could put all of Florida in the same time zone while following daylight saving time throughout the year is moving ahead at the state capitol. This week, a Senate committee voted in favor of the plan to stop the semi-annual switch from standard to daylight saving time. Now, that measure also seeks to put Panhandle counties in the same time zone as the rest of the state. Right now, a section of the Panhandle is actually in the central time zone, while the rest of the state is in the eastern time zone.
The payoff is for especially families with young children is they don't have to deal with their kids having to deal with falling back and having trouble getting to school and having trouble to do all those things.
Well, the House version of the bill, which does not include changing the Panhandle's time zone, passed its first committee on Wednesday. Now, even if the proposal receives approval from the full legislature, the Department of Transportation and Congress would both have to sign off for those changes to occur.
Also in Tallahassee, a battle continues over how much the state should spend on tourism marketing. An initial House budget proposal calls for spending $76 million a year. The Senate version calls for $50 million a year. A recent state study found that Visit Florida has a more than $2 return on every dollar spent. Here on the Suncoast, our first poll on the special election for the State House. Republican James Buchanan has a slight edge on Democratic candidate Margaret Good. A poll by St. Pete Polls has Buchanan up 49 to 46% within a 3.7% margin of error. Libertarian candidate Allison Foxall is at 1.6%, but she has set the new Libertarian record for fundraising, just over $19,000. The election is February 13th. The winner replaces Alex Miller, who resigned last year after a few months into her first term.
Well, happening now, a group of volunteers and community members are getting ready for a prayer breakfast this morning to help take stock in children.
Marla Spence is live outside the Bradenton Area Convention Center with a preview. Marla?
Good morning, guys. That's right. Organizers and volunteers are getting ready for this year's Take Stock in Children prayer breakfast this morning, and it is pretty busy in here as people are preparing. Joining me now is Jamie Serino. He is the executive director of Take Stock in Children for Manatee County. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing so great, and I know it's going to be a great day today as people are getting ready this morning for this year's event that is expected to draw in more than 500 people, I hear.
Yeah, exactly. We have more than 550 so far planned. And we have 44 sponsors, which is pretty impressive. And we're going to be scholarship supporting 35, but raising more money to give more children opportunities.
Well, and I hear some pretty impressive guests are going to be here this morning. Can you tell us who they are?
Well, we're going to have the mayor of Palmetto and Bradenton. We're going to have Dr. Green, superintendent of the schools. Sandy Buchanan is going to be here as well, from the wife of Congressman. And we're going to have our keynote speaker is Michael Jarvis, who's a coach, longtime MCA coach and author. But we're going to have our students. We're going to have 4 students, and they're the really big stars.
Yeah,
you know?
They are the really big stars, and I hear that you guys are raising money for scholarship for those students as well. How much money is expected to be raised? And also I'm hearing something about a match as well that's going to be happening with those scholarships.
The match is awesome. So we hope to raise more than $370 in the end. And the match, how it works, is we have $45,000 that very generous supporters have stepped up and offering to our audience. Wonderful. Now they match it, so $1,000 becomes $4,000, because whatever we match here is then matched by Florida Prepaid Program.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your interview. And guys, this event is expected to start at 7:30 this morning. Reporting live in Bradenton, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. Check our new app. Go to the App Store and punch up WWSB or My Suncoast. Happening in Florida, the Florida Senate has now joined the House, requiring members to undergo an hour of sexual harassment training before the start of each legislative session. You might recall 2 high-ranking senators have resigned since October. Democrat Jeff Clemens of Lake Worth stepped down after admitting to an affair with a lobbyist. And Clearwater Republican Jack Latvala resigned after an investigation found that he likely committed acts of sexual misconduct.
I just signed your death warrant. Those are the words a Michigan judge told disgraced former USA Gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar. Some powerful moments in the courtroom yesterday during his sentencing. Nassar was sentenced to between 40 and 175 years in prison for sexual assault. This is in addition to the 60 years in federal prison he's already serving for child pornography charges, as well as whatever sentence he receives next week on 3 additional charges that he pled guilty to in another county in Michigan.
And you survived the 60 years in federal court first, and then you started my 40 years? You've gone off the page here as to what I'm doing. My page only goes to 100 years. Sir, I'm giving you 175 years, which is 2,100 months.
150 victims told their stories of Nassar's abuse during his sentencing hearing. And in another update, late last night, the president of Michigan State University resigned under pressure from the State House. They approved a resolution demanding it, citing the school mishandled or at least ignored past complaints about Nassar.
Wow.
And some powerful moments, like we were saying, in court throughout the week. Each one of the girls were carrying a hand-painted rock that had words like strength and courage on it as they went up and said their piece.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still ahead, the latest first alert traffic, also weather, and a manatee rescue right here in Florida.
Plus tools to help you get rid of all that debt. We've got those stories and much more when we return.
There's There's a peek outside our window at the Rosemary District. 52 degrees right now. Should have a sunny day. John's complete forecast after this.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease the all-new Subaru Impreza for just $185 a month, or get 0% financing and 0 down with complimentary maintenance included. That's right, not 1 penny down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Beautiful start to the morning. We'll look for a pickup temperature for the kids at the bus stop at about 49 degrees or so. Cool but dry out there. As the sun rises, our temperatures will too. And the drop-off temperature afternoon time about 70 degrees, sunny, dry. We'll look for those temperatures to continue to rise through the morning hours to about 52 degrees by 9 under mostly sunny skies. Commute time looks absolutely great. 62 by noon, 70 as I mentioned by about 3 o'clock, and then by 7, 62 degrees. Temperatures again this evening will fall off, but not probably as quickly as they did last evening, because the winds are going to be a little bit breezy over the next several mornings, several days in fact. 51 degrees the air temperature. We have a 12-mile-an-hour wind already out of the northeast. Small craft advisories are up for this morning, for the afternoon, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see at the bare minimum an exercise caution statement for this evening. Probably a small craft advisory. Certainly tomorrow the winds will be breezy as well. Dew point still dry at 35. Low relative humidity, making it feel pretty comfortable out there. Futurecast hour by hour through the day, taking you to about 12 noon. Lunchtime, we're looking at a little bit of fair weather cloudiness around perhaps, but that's all right. That cloudiness is high, thin clouds for the most part, and as we head into the evening hours, it will just help enhance the sunset again tonight. We've had a couple of nights of just spectacular sunsets thanks to this high cloudiness around. No rain in the forecast despite the clouds today or tomorrow. Saturday and Sunday, different story. We have an area of low pressure beginning to develop in the western Gulf waters. That will gradually move to the eastern Gulf waters. This takes us to Friday, but by Saturday, I think we'll probably start clouding up and have a chance of rain showers. Then on Sunday, this front could be a problem for us. We'll be watching that kind of take shape over the course of the next several days and fine-tune the forecast for you. Quiet on radar and will be all day today. High thin clouds streaming across the region. Watching this area in the western Gulf for any kind of low pressure development there. Weather highlights include this high pressure ridge scooting a little bit further to the east, and as it does that, our winds become increasingly easterly and strong. Also, that low pressure area at the surface back in the western Gulf will give us breezy conditions for the next 2 days. Sunny skies, though, for at least several days with that high thin cloudiness around. And then warm up starting as early as tomorrow takes us into the upper 70s as we get into the weekend. So it'll be a nice warm weekend, but it could be kind of wet as well. North wind switching to the northeast at about 10 to 15, and the forecast looks like this. We'll have a daytime high today topping out at about a comfortable 70. Tomorrow warmer still at 75. Positively steamy on Saturday with a daytime high near 80, 20% chance of showers then. But it's Sunday when all systems kind of come together, giving us at least an 80% chance of storminess. Some of those storms could drop half an inch of rain, and it could be kind of an all-day sort of on and off event. So we'll be monitoring that pretty carefully. First alert weather day on Sunday. Then the front moves through, clears us out, and cools us off. Back to you guys.
All right, taking a look outside at your first alert traffic at 6:17 this morning. We're starting to see your typical slowdowns if you're heading into Sarasota from Palmetto or Ellington. Also some backups right there on 64 and a little bit on 301 going northbound as well. Now in South County, we've got your typical backups at University Parkway and Fruitville. Also a little backup there on Clark Road or State Road 72. And then in South County, the roads are looking pretty good out there. You do have starting to have a little bit of a blip there on southbound 41 if you're heading into the Port Charlotte area. But other than that, not too much to see out there this morning.
In other traffic news, quite a scene on a Fort Lauderdale road where a private helicopter made an emergency landing. Look at this video. Fire rescue said nobody was hurt in the landing, just some traffic delays in and around the area. Plenty of startled drivers. Looked like traffic was shut off on that road after it landed. The helicopter is registered to a private company in Pembroke Pines, which is about 20 minutes away from there.
Also here in Florida, a 12-year-old boy has died from the flu. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office said they responded to a medical call on Tuesday and found the boy dead. Florida is among the 26 states that have reported widespread flu activity. All right, well, it is time. If you are constantly feeling the pressure and the stress that comes with dealing with debt, this next story is for you.
Digging out of debt is possible. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has some tips.
When Anna Newell Jones got married, there was a hitch. Her husband Aaron was ready to have and to hold her, but he wasn't so excited about sharing his bank account with her.
I bought what I wanted when I wanted and spent the way I wanted.
I think the bombshell for me was when I learned that she was about $24,000 in debt.
Like, this guy that I love is not wanting to share finances with me.
After their honeymoon, Anna got to work and did something remarkable. She did a spending fast to shred her debt.
The spending fast is where you spend on needs only.
That means just the essentials. Pay your bills, food you cook at home, that's it. Needs only, no wants allowed. Then she took it to the next level, doing a reverse budget.
A reverse budget is where you take the last 3 months of your bank statements, credit card statements, and you're going to take a pen and paper.
Going line by line, you write down everything you've spent in categories like food, rent, medical, clothing, pizza.
Reverse budget shows us an itemized list of everything that you're spending on.
The reverse budget showed her real spending habits, forcing her to change her ways. She started to spend less, paid her bills. She shed that $24,000 in debt in just 15 months.
I took control over it. Since getting out of debt, I now run 3 businesses that I love. I'm a mom now. We own a house. It's totally changed my life.
She continues to share how she did it on her blog and in a book, introducing her method to thousands of people online, including a debt spending support group on Facebook, where members uplift each other's progress by saying things like, "Awesome, I can't wait for my next paycheck to throw more money to my debt," and "That sounds so brave of you." That group has collectively erased $3 million of debt in just 2 years.
That's very interesting. I like the idea of the reverse budget where you go back and you take your last 3 months and you write down everything you spent, because sometimes you don't realize it until you really add it up. So those are some good tips right there.
That's good for that, or also for your diet. Write down what you ate.
Oh, you don't want to do that. Chex Mix for breakfast.
12
again.
donuts. Up next, a closer look at local real estate. You like this story. And a YouTube star returns to the site after posting a controversial video.
That's right. We're going to have more on the now reflective and apologetic Logan Paul. It's coming up right after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Start the year off with big savings during the Start Something New event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get a brand new Jeep Renegade for as little as $15,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $18,999. Or be one of the first to drive away in a 2018 Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Well, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission team helped save a manatee in distress yesterday afternoon in Fort Lauderdale. Now check this out. There was a life vest tangled on the back of the animal. A marine biologist said that it likely had just separated from, like training, look, it's like training wheels for this little guy. Yeah, separated from its mom this winter because calves do tend to stay close to their mothers for usually around 1 to 2 years to kind of learn the travel routes that they go on. Now, after freeing the manatee from the vest, they made sure it was big and healthy enough enough to be out on its own. Now, even before they released it back into the water, they placed a tiny tracker on it so they can check its progress as well.
Easy to see that thing with a life vest on.
I know, right? They put little wings on it, on its things instead of
Well,
life
we call those water wings.
Yeah, the water wings. They put water wings on it.
Love to hear from you on our Facebook pages. Stop by and say hello. Like the pages. Also, we do daily updates as well on Instagram as well, right here on ABC7.
All right, and now a look at YouTube star Logan Paul's return to the site after posting a very controversial video.
The YouTube star reflected on his lapse in judgment. Here's ABC's Paula Ferris.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a seemingly somber and reflective Logan Paul returning to YouTube.
When I found out that 1 in 6 high school kids seriously think about suicide, that's stunning.
The 22-year-old internet star, usually known for his boisterous antics, disappeared from social media 3 weeks ago, saying he was taking time to reflect after coming under fire for posting a controversial video filmed and shot in what's known as Japan's suicide forest.
I've never been so humbled in my life.
In this new video, he sits down with several prevention professionals addressing his own ignorance on the gravity of suicide.
I was shocked to discover just how big this is.
And coming up at 7 a.m., Logan Paul's plans to further educate himself and others about suicide prevention. With your GMA First Look, I'm Paula Ferris, ABC News, New York.
Wish your skin could bounce back like it used to? Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel. With hyaluronic acid, it plumps skin cells with intense hydration and locks it in for supple, hydrated skin. Hydro Boost from Neutrogena.
When it comes to travel, I sweat the details. Late checkout, down alternative pillows, and of course, price. TripAdvisor helps you book a hotel without breaking a sweat. Because we now instantly search over 200 booking sites to find you the lowest price on the hotel you want. Don't sweat your booking. TripAdvisor, the latest reviews, the lowest prices.
What's with him?
He's happy. Your family's finally eating vegetables, thanks to our Bird's Eye Voila skillet meals.
And they only take 15 minutes to make.
Ow!
Oh my.
Bird's Eye Voila, so veggie good.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
The classic film Singing in the Rain is coming to the Players Center in a live stage show opening January 17th. All the dances and all the songs you've come to know and love, all a part of our Wild Broadway series. Get your tickets now for this limited run by calling the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. You too can be singing in the rain.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe.
One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, put your hands up. We'll hear from a witness about Tuesday's fatal incident where deputies shot a man 4 times in Manatee County.
Plus, the Northport city manager is on leave this morning after claims of bullying several employees.
And a closer look at the rising local real estate market. How long can this last? We'll have a story. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. It is 6:31 on this Thursday morning. Going to be another beautiful day out there, according to John Scalzi, and I always think that he is right.
Yeah, look at the sky there.
I know, it looks gorgeous. Looks so pretty out there. Nice, warm, a little chillier than the other day, but still nothing like those cold snaps we were having a couple weeks ago.
Van Gogh painting out there.
It is beautiful.
52, though, right now on the way up to the 60s. Let's get details from the expert. Here's John Scalzi.
Well, it looked a little ominous out there this morning, I thought, with those kind of clouds hanging low. But that's okay. It's okay. We can deal with the clouds. We have some clouds from time to time, actually, today because of a little disturbance back in the western Gulf waters. But these are mostly going to be high, thin clouds, occasionally a lower level cloud, but not rain-producing clouds. So it will be dry today. The clouds actually kind of help today keep our temperature up just a little bit. Plus the winds are kind of breezy, elevating things. Small craft advisory in effect. 54 degrees Longboat Key, Sarasota at 51, 50 Northport, 50 in Parrish and Bradenton. No rain on the radar, and the drive time commute forecast looks good. And then we'll look at mid 40s to low 50s throughout these morning hours, and then as we head into drive time home tonight, temperatures will be toasty. Well, sort of. Coming in at about 70 degrees, and there's certainly no weather issues for today. We'll have the complete forecast, including the look at the rain chances for the weekend, coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. I could hear him read a phone book all day.
I know, right?
He has a great way of communicating.
Brings the weather to life.
He really does. There's a junction there at State Road 70 and 301. Be aware of that. Otherwise, pretty clear right now in Manatee County. The northern half of Sarasota shows a little built up there on 41 at the 301 split. Also out there on 75 northbound as you cross over Clark Road. Our final map of the south shows us minor delays. Right now it is 6:33 on this Thursday morning. Well, it's a story that made national news 10 years ago. An Orlando woman with a local connection disappeared.
Well, yesterday it marked the 12th anniversary of Jennifer Kessie's disappearance. The 24-year-old went missing on January the 24th, 2006, after leaving her Orlando condo and has not been seen or heard from since. Now, Drew Kessie is her father and a Bradenton resident, and he says there have been more than 4,500 leads so far. The reward has been increased to $15,000 in her case.
It's very difficult. 12 years, you know, people say things get a little easier with time, and I don't think we find that in this situation, mainly because of the frustration that goes along with it. And when you look back at what has happened over 12 years and where we are today, we're nowhere. Unfortunately, we're still the same as day 3 when they found her car.
Well, her father and the rest of her family are continuing their search for answers, saying the police have not done enough and that mistakes were made in her case. They now want their own private investigator to take over the case and are planning to sue the Orlando Police Department for the case files.
New details now about that deputy-involved fatal shooting Tuesday night in Manatee County. The sheriff says deputies responded to a domestic dispute between 38-year-old Corey Mobley and his wife at a gas station on Cortez. Before they got there, Mobley left and they found him on 6th Street West. The sheriff says Mobley repeatedly told deputies, "I've got a gun for you," refused to show his hands, and then reached for his pocket. That's when deputies fired 2 shots. Mobley got back up, repeated his statements, and deputies fired 2 more shots. Now, this witness confirms the police account.
He had told the cops that he had a gun for him, And then the cops had shot him twice, and he had got back up and walked towards the police officers, and they shot him 2 more times.
It turned out he didn't have a gun. He later died at Sarasota Memorial Hospital.
Well, the Northport Police Department is asking for the public's help after an attempted robbery at a community center. Now take a look at this video. Police are hoping that you'll recognize the 2 cars and the 2 men in the video. Detectives believes they may have information about an attempted robbery earlier this month at the Mullen Center on Kramer Way. Now, if you know these men or if you have any information about what happened, call the Northport Police Department or Sarasota Crime Stoppers. The number's right there on your screen.
Over at City Hall, Northport's assistant city manager has been suspended for allegedly bullying co-workers. This man oversees the city's human resources department, so the city hired an outside law firm to investigate the claim since he can't do it. Northport's mayor said she was surprised, or rather she was not surprised at the allegations, saying she had heard complaints about him. She says she's glad employees felt safe to come forward.
Culture has shifted. I think that employees do understand that their commission definitely feels that they are worth something. They are worthy, that they deserve respect.
We reached out to the assistant city manager for comment, but he did not call us back. For more on this story and other breaking news, go to the App Store and punch up our new app. It's under WWSB or My Suncoast.
Well, happening now, a group of volunteers and community members are getting ready for a prayer breakfast later on this morning to help do something very important, take stock in children.
It's a great local group. They've got chapters in both counties. Marla Spence live now from the Bradenton Area Convention Center with a guest. Marla, good morning.
Good morning to you guys. That's right. In just 1 hour, this year's event will be taking place right here in the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Joining me now is one of the scholars that will be here at the Take Stock in Children Prayer Breakfast. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you too. I'm so excited to be here. This is my second year here actually, but last year I was a junior, so I wasn't so involved in like coming up and speaking, and so I'm very excited.
Wonderful, and I know you are one of just 30, well, that's a lot of students, 30 students here who are scholars for this year's event. What does this mean to you for you to be a part of something like this?
It's truly an honor, especially being chosen to speak to so many people. I wasn't expecting this, but this program has given me so many opportunities. It's just a blessing.
And the opportunity is scholarship. You're part of the program, so that means you're going to be receiving scholarship. When did you join the organization?
I became a scholar my 8th grade year going to 9th grade. So my freshman year was when I became a part of it, like I guess officially, when I started my mentoring and all that. So.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Jaylene. And for you all who don't know, she aspires to be a trauma nurse, which is so impressive. This morning's event is expected to start at 7:30 this morning. And once again, that's for the Take Stock in Children Prayer Breakfast, which is almost underway. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thanks, Marla. Some good stuff happening out there today. Also happening today, USF Sarasota Manatee is hosting a lecture with the director of the Chicago Cubs Mental Skills Program. Josh Lifrak is going to lead the talk as part of the school's Career Success Lecture Series. Now, he's helped some of his players on the Cubs overcome mental obstacles and achieve their goals. Now, the lecture is free. It's also open to the public, and it's taking place at Sarasota's Selby Auditorium from noon until 1 o'clock today. And Anna Maria Island has a chance to be named America's happiest seaside town, and you can help. Coastal Living magazine hasn't chosen which town will hold its #1 spot just yet. It's up to how many votes it gets in the next couple of weeks. Now, there are 9 other towns on that list, and the only other seaside town in Florida that is competing is Vero Beach. To vote for Anna Maria, all you have to do is head over to the magazine's website, coastalliving.com. Well, it seems like just yesterday the Sarasota real estate market was in a world of hurt, but the median price for a home on the Suncoast was up another 7% this past year.
So with real estate again on the rise, could a bubble burst like 10 years ago happen again? Well, we talked about that to the head of the area's biggest real estate agency.
I think we're in a healthy, strong market. So yes, I would say it's the best I've ever seen it.
Drayton Saunders is president of the region's largest real estate agency, Michael Saunders & Company. This is their new office in downtown Sarasota at the corner of Main and Orange. How's this office working out?
Oh, it's fabulous. It's our flagship in terms of kind of a new feel for an office.
Saunders has this and 23 other offices across the region, and he says they are staying busy. He says the cold weather up north only made things hotter in local real estate.
So this year with the cyclone bomb, a lot of great press about our region, we are starting off with a lot more activity than I have seen in our typical January. So I think that bodes well for the market.
Of the 7,000 agents in this region, 1 in 10, or about 700, work for Saunders. But the most successful agent in the area is not under his roof. Roger Pettengill of Coldwell Banker has led the region the past 6 years, selling over $100 million last year alone.
3-2.
But how long can this last?
Competitive advantage.
Earlier this month, a well-known economist warned of a recession coming. According to the Sarasota Herald Tribune, Hank Fishkind told a local business group that he's concerned that borrowing and the expansion could lead to higher interest rates. So could this lead to another real estate crash like the one we had 12 years ago?
Well, Ray, things are different than 2006.
Local attorney Dan Lobeck recalls that recession all too well. Though not a real estate professional, Lobeck runs a local group that keeps a close eye on growth in the area, and he thinks Fishkind is wrong.
The factors that caused the bust 10 years ago are not in place today. Banks have tightened up their lending practices, so you're not going to see all this wave of defaults. Flipping is not going crazy like it did in 2006. So it just doesn't seem to me that a housing bust is on the horizon.
I get that question about the bubble all the time, and it was interesting. I looked up the definition of a market bubble just so I'd be accurate. And it really requires two things. It requires a massive run-up in value and then a massive sell-off. And so you'd have to ask, have we had a massive run-up in value? And I don't think we really have. What we've had over the last 10 years is a recovery from the last bubble. And first it was recovering from prices that fell below what would have been statistically normal appreciation. And now we're, I think, in a very healthy appreciation cycle. And so no, I don't see us in a bubble.
So for now, Saunders hopes word of mouth continues about this area. And as for his crystal ball?
You know, they say that if you look too closely into a crystal ball, you eat glass.
Well said.
I think my grandma said that too.
Yeah, this is why there are 7,000 local realtors in Manatee, Sarasota, and Charlotte counties.
All right, well, all I know is when I win the lotto, that Mega Millions, buying a house on Casey Key.
That's your goal?
That is my goal.
Yeah, I'll take Siesta Key.
Gonna happen. All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. We've got the latest for you in First Alert traffic. And if you are heading to Brazil, there is a vaccine that you are going to need to get first.
We'll tell you about the recent deadly outbreak sweeping that South American country when we come back.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
Start the year off with big savings during the Start Something New event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Why settle for less when you can shop the Suncoast's largest selection? Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $24,999. Or drive away in a beautiful new Chrysler 300 for as little as $21,999. That's right, save over $9,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a full-time receptionist / accounts payable administrator. AP or general accounting experience preferred. Visit mysuncoast.com /job of the day to apply. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
52 degrees we'll go with by about 9 o'clock this morning. We're going to have a mix of sunny skies and some high-level clouds that won't block the sun, but they'll still give a kind of a dim, milky appearance to the sun at times. As we head into the noontime hour, about 62, 70 by about 3. And by 7 p.m., 62 degrees. And again, at times the clouds will be a little bit lower, kind of as they are now. And then at other times they'll just be high, thin clouds that will just kind of give the sky a bit of a haze. 51 degrees, our current air temperature. Dew point coming in at 35 northeast wind, breezy today. That'll be another thing in the forecast for this afternoon. It'll be a breezy day, and a small craft advisory has been issued through the afternoon. Our future cast carrying you into about the lunchtime hour, then into pickup time for the school buses at 3. Shows a little cloud cover around, but again, no rain in the forecast despite this little bit of cloud. At other times, clear skies, sunny skies. At other times, a little bit more cloud cover. That's the way it's going to be on and off for the next couple of days, actually. 7 o'clock this evening, it'll be, again, a partly cloudy sky. Should be those high, thin clouds really producing a nice sunset kind of appearance, just as we had yesterday and the day before with these high, thin clouds kind of reflecting the setting sun, or refracting, I should say. By tomorrow morning, again, another nice start to the day, maybe a little bit warmer. We have a gathering clouds out in the western Gulf. That's a low pressure area that could bring us some increased clouds and perhaps some rain on Saturday. But then what we're watching carefully is Sunday, when these gathering clouds in that low pressure area advance toward Florida and a frontal boundary kind of catches up with it. When that happens, we could get a significant amount of rain across the region on Sunday. Could be a first alert weather day. In fact, it will be. We're looking at quiet conditions on radar right now, so we're not seeing any rainfall around. But watch what happens as this front, still way back to the west at this point, and high pressure starts to move toward the east. As the high pressure ridge moves toward the east, we develop a more easterly flow. So it's breezy, a little bit sunny, but still a warm-up with that easterly wind will lead to increased moisture and then showers on Sunday. Still a little changes in the timing depending on which computer model you look at. Here's one of them. This is the GFS that shows the rain showers just right on our coastline by Sunday afternoon. The other model, a little bit slower in bringing the showers in. I'll throw that one up on our ABC7 app, the First Alert Weather app. You check it out. I'll put that video on in about an hour. Southeast wind coming in at about 10 to 15, breezy this afternoon. And the forecast looks like this. 7-day. Today, nice, 70. Tomorrow, a little bit more cloud cover, 75. Saturday, we cloud up, chance of rain. Sunday, excellent chance of rain. Some of the rain heavy, probably beginning in the early afternoon. 80% chance of that. Then we clear out. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Take a look outside into your first alert traffic. It is looking mostly as good as the weather is going to be the rest of the day. Just a few spots that are starting to get a little bit more congested. You can see right there on the map, 301 north and southbound is a little bit busy as well, as is Fruitville Road in North Sarasota County as well. You've got your typical slowdowns on 41 as well there. If you're heading into South County, the roads are looking pretty smooth right there too. Got a little congestion if you head south, but other than that, the roads are looking great out there this morning at 6:48.
In this hour's Health Smart, travelers going to Brazil are being urged to get yellow fever vaccinations. Federal officials declared the issue earlier this week. A monkey was found dead at the São Paulo Zoo, and it was confirmed the monkey had yellow fever. Yellow fever is a deadly viral disease transmitted by infected mosquitoes. Entertainment news now. After 50 years on stage, Elton John has announced his final tour. The 70-year-old says he wants to spend more time with his family. Although he's retiring from the road, his final tour will be a 3-year global tour, and it does include a stop in Tampa.
And just go ahead and back up a big old truck full of Emmys and Golden Globes and drop them right off at Meryl Streep's house. She is joining HBO's mega hit Big Little Lies, which is cleaned up at every single award show this season. The iconic actress will play the mother-in-law of Nicole Kidman's character. Big Little Lies, of course, debuted in February last year on HBO. It's already won 8 Emmys and 4 Golden Globes this season.
She has the Midas touch.
She does, and that is a great show, too. That's perfectly bingeable. Maybe on that Sunday where it's going to be a little rainy this weekend.
Good idea.
Good stuff.
We've got a funny story on the way about a man in Wichita.
That's right. One of the most creative ways a wife is telling her husband he's about to become a daddy. We've got their story up next.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet. Around the neighborhood or around town, you'll feel good and look even better driving your new Fiat. For maximum performance, check out the all-new Fiat Spider. You'll flip over the superior handling and capability. Or follow roads less traveled in the Fiat 500X. So go big or go small. With prices starting as low as $13,999, you're sure to find a Fiat that fits your style during the Start Something New event, going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.
Here are some of the top stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
Pretty shot there of the White House. Yeah. President Trump is not there. He is now in Switzerland for a World Economic Summit. He says he wants to tell his fellow leaders that America is open for business and generate more imports into our country.
That is right. And we're learning more about Tuesday's incident where sheriff's deputies shot and killed a man in Manatee County.
They say he repeatedly threatened that he had a gun and then reached for his pocket.
Plus, like Ray was saying, President Trump says he is ready and willing to sit down with special counsel Robert Mueller to reveal what he knows about the Russian meddling in our presidential election. And that meeting could be just 2 weeks away.
And the assistant city manager of Northport is on leave after co-workers accused him of bullying. The investigation's now underway. The mayor says she had heard complaints before about Daniel Schultz, and she's glad that workers felt safe to come forward. Checking first alert traffic, there's a broad brush look at our area. No real delays. 301 perhaps toward Bradenton. Otherwise, pretty clear, John Scalzi.
Yep. So was the weather actually today. We're not seeing much in the way of any rain showers. Just kind of battling back some clouds from time to time over the next couple of days. On Sunday, we will work in that chance of showers and a good chance of perhaps even some heavy rain during the afternoon. It's a first alert weather day on Sunday, actually, and we have some changes depending on which model you look at on the timing of the arrival of those storms. It's still pretty early out, but I'll put both of those on our first alert weather app coming up in about 15 minutes. You can look for that, and you can see both the European and the American models and the differences in the timing of those storms.
All right, John, a Wichita man was having an ordinary day when suddenly he was pulled over by police. And rather than get a ticket, he got an announcement. This officer had worked with the fellow's wife, and the big news came. She gave the officer a video of her telling her husband that he was going to be a father. The officer then gave the man a box that had a onesie inside. He said he was very excited, partly because he didn't get a ticket.
Right. I was like, can we just give him something to relax him after he had all the anxiety of having this? You know?
Try this
I get
on.
a ticket? No, you have a baby. You have 18 years of a commitment.
I'll take the ticket.
Yes,
that'll be $40,000.
There you go.
All right.
All right, sounds good. Good Morning America is straight ahead.